Mike, you and I have been working here in Malmö together now for just over 3 years. And I wonder whether we can reflect a little on what has changed in that time. I think that if I start, I would say that one of the things that was very clear is that from the church's perspective, when I started, it was assumed that there wasn't enough work for one priest in the harbour. And over these 3 years, we've actually come to see that it's at least 100% post, if not more. And there is something of the same experience with the Seafarers Club.
Yes, and so actually we have seen so much of overload of work. So now we have another one, and he's now on 75%. And before the end of this year, we will hope that he's go up to 200%.
100%.
100%, yeah. So the Seamen's Club will have 200%, and then you as a chaplain will have, the rest. How much do you think? How much are you going to have?
So currently, it looks as if I will have 90% of my time in the harbour, and I will retain 10% within the parish of St. Petri, meaning that in addition to the work that we do when we visit the harbours, and it is harbours because we don't just visit the port here in Malmö, then in addition to that work, I am also responsible for some of the Sunday services, baptisms, weddings and funerals at St. Petri. But Mike, we are now talking about the time that we work in the harbour, but has there been an evolution of the type of work that we do?
Definitely. We have seen increase at least 30% in all categories. Transport people, and especially ship visiting have gone up, and that's because of course now we have more time in Landskrona. So the priority have always been Malmö, but now when we have extra time, we have time to go to the shipyard. I guess we actually have visited all the vessels going to the shipyard, and maybe about 90-80% of the vessels to go to Landskrona. So definitely it's increasing. We are reaching out to much more seafarers today than before this year.
And when you talk about transport, what are you talking about?
It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. We have had also a lot of transport to museums. We have transport to the forest, walking around in the forest. We have done some city walking together with seafarers, because the thing is that the most important part is to get the seafarers out of the vessel, and then again to make them a little bit more active for newer things, not only the Seamen's Club and city center, and so we're actually doing more forest walking, city walking. So I think we are more active also.
So just to be clear, when we're talking about transport, we are talking about the fact that we have now 3 cars like this one,
Yes.
which are people carriers, if you want to put it that way, and we drive to the vessels and we pick up seafarers and we transport them to anywhere in Malmö, or the neighbouring municipalities that they would like to go to. And it's important for us to mention that here, because we are bound by certain rules and regulations. And that means to a very large degree that we cannot take them beyond the bordering communes to Malmö. And the reason for that is that as seafarers they have legislation that they fall under and that we have to observe.
And that haven't it hasn't been an issue before because we didn't know about it. And now when we have talked to the immigration police, and now we know if the seafarer is going outside, they have to sign off the vessel. And we don't know if they are insured when they do that. So therefore, it's very important for us to follow the rules, and also important for the seafarers to follow the rules, because otherwise it's trafficking with foreigners. So, and if we understand it right, it's even with Swedish seafarers which are on Swedish vessels. They are in the same law as the Filipino, the Russian, and the Ukraine, and all the other people. So it's actually, if you are a seafarer, you are a foreigner in Sweden.
So it's important for us to be able to stress that while we have a limit on the area that we can move in, there's no limit on our commitment to get people off the vessels.
Precisely.
And to find new activities.
Yes, precisely.
So if you come to Malmö Port, you need to know we are there for you. If you come to Landskrona Port, we are there for you, and we can explore ways in which we can take you around in the communes and show you interesting things, so that you're not just stuck on your vessel or in the port, but that you can actually get an experience of the city to which you are visiting. So welcome to Malmö.
And stay safe.
We look forward to meeting you.
Det här blir jättebra.